today. And if you're an Owlette and if you're in the chat and you're wondering, okay, Tyler, what does this mean? Well, you're going to watch it all happen. And if you're in the Owlette program and you're watching right now, you got to get in. You got to take your 7-day challenge. You got to watch your life become more magical, experience the most immersive magic trick in the world called a wizard reading. This is something that will literally delve into your mind. You will have your mind read, and your week will literally become magical. It's the greatest trick in the world, and I invented it. So you've got to experience this thing, guys. And when you do, you will have an opportunity to join the show and continue to immerse yourself in this experience, because what this is all about is re-enchanting the world. A magician's job is to be a keeper and a proliferator of the mysteries of life. This show will make your life more magical. And the more you watch it, the more magical your life will become. You'll start to open your mind, expand your consciousness, and experience things that other people cannot see. Another realm. So that is what we're going to be doing here today, boys and girls. So your letter is in the mail. So Rayla has officially joined the Parliament of Owls. She has paid her initiation.
Indeed.
Beautiful.
In fact, the light keep flickering for me, and I'm like, and everyone's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. It's probably just the weather.
Yeah, and I have no idea how it works. It's just one of those things that happens. It's part of the experience. Is life literally just becomes more magical when you start using the power of imagination. Dearest Rayla, hold thy pendulum as such, whatever way feels comfortable to you. And notice it holds stationary now and links with the owl now. And so begins the process. There we go. First we start the spin, and then the spin starts us. Rayla, has your pendulum begun to move?
A little bit, yeah.
Is it making a circle now?
I'm holding it over the phone.
Wow.
So it's alright, she can't really hear me.
Oh, I can hear you. You're doing great. Rayla.
It is moving, and that's crazy.
It's moving. You are not crazy. But what you are, Rayla, has now been owlified as Illusion Owl. Welcome to the flock. What are you doing now, Illusion Owl?
It's still moving. It's moving in a tiny circle. It's going left, right, and then in a little circle.
Isn't that crazy? How does it do that?
I don't know.
It's quite an experience. Now, why don't we move into your first reading as Illusion Owl, shall we?
Do I have to keep holding the pendulum?
No, you can go ahead and you can put the pendulum down. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So is there anything in particular you'd like to focus in on for your reading?
Career, please.
Career. Let's do it. All right. Lexi's over there like, what the hell was that? I've never seen him do this before. She's been gone. She doesn't know how powerful we've become. How insane. We've been going through the roof. All right, let's try this. We'll try, yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so the thing is with the past is we feel like we know what it is. So like here we got the Knight of Cups. But the thing about it is the past that we feel is only a fraction of what we actually know. Because the way that our memories work is that when we look in the past, if we're feeling good, we remember the good parts. And if we're feeling bad, we remember the bad parts. And so the key here is to realize that even though it might be the Knight of Cups in the past, what it could actually be is something different. So we're going to shift our perspective and see what happens there. Then, of course, the present tends to be the most clear because Well, we're in it. And so we'll be able to take a look at what that is for you here. And we see the Queen of Swords popping up there for you. And finally, of course, the future. We can't know what the future is. So that makes it unseen, just like the past, which is obscured. So we'll cut somewhere in the deck here, and we'll leave it unknown for now. Let's go ahead and take a look into the past for you. So when we look into the past, what we saw was the Knight of Cups. But in reality, we know that this is something different than that. There's more information to be found here that we need to know. So what that would say is that when we were looking from the more, I'd say, a more negative experience before, the Knight of Cups is saying that we were taking action and it felt like we were putting in our heart into things and it just wasn't turning into the results that we wanted. We're pushing very hard on our passions and our dreams and the life that we'd like to live, but we weren't seeing the fruits of our results. But the real information to take away from that is to transform your perspective and see that that Knight of Cups becomes the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is telling us that in reality, while that was a difficult time for you and it didn't pan out in the material realm, you actually gathered a lot of wisdom and knowledge that allows you to come into today's moment here, and it makes you more prepared. So none of those things were actually failures. They were lessons that you were learning and you paid for with hard work. It just didn't pay off materially. And so that's what we see popping up for your past in regards to career. Is that sounding about right for you, Layla? Illusion Owl.
Yes,
Sorry.
actually. That's all right.
Wonderful.
Yes, actually.
How is it?
Because I wasn't doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't doing too hot a semester or two ago, and I was put on probation. But now I learned my lesson, and I'm doing better.
That's wonderful. So you had that experience, and then that allowed you to learn, and now you move forward into today. Is that about right?
Yep.
Wonderful. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at where you are now? So what we see is the present, and that is the Queen of Swords. And so what this is saying is now is the time for us to be patient with our wisdom. So what it's telling us is we learn from our mistakes, and now we have the wisdom to just say, hey, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter if I'm what my feelings are or what I think about myself. What matters is that if I put in the work, I'm going to get the results. That's the key. And so that's the lesson to be learned right now. Now, interestingly, this card tends to be associated with signs of birds. And so interesting encounters with birds and whatnot are usually a sign that you've got the wisdom on your side and you just need to take action on it. Is that anything like that popping up for you recently? Anything weird around birds?
We've had a lot more birds lately, but I think it's probably because the neighbors are also feeding the squirrels, and the birds like the food too.
Oh, interesting. Well, that would be a good example of a synchronicity. We pull a card here that's all about birds. The reason for that, by the way, is there's a little bird over her head that symbolizes the wisdom. And yet you just have a bunch of birds that have showed up in your backyard. That's pretty weird. We used to have someone who fed fed squirrels in Montana. They had them trained. It was quite wild. So in terms of that, is that sounding about right for where you're at right now in your life?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, of course, the future can't be known. We don't know what the future is, and I don't know what the future is, but we can peer into it because the future is unknown because it's in your control. So if you continue down the patterns that you do now, you will get exactly where you're intending to go. But if you change those patterns, you change where you're going to go. That's why you can't predict the future, because you can change it. It's in your control. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and take a peer here? I'm not going to look at it, and neither will you, and we'll see what comes up. I just realized it's kind of hard to see that on the camera. I'm going to pull them forward for you. Okay, so what this is telling me, the thing that's coming through that we need to think about, and I think it's what you are thinking about right now, you're actually in the future already. And I would encourage you to pull back a little bit and be in this moment, because the future will worry about itself. And to help you with understanding what that future might look like, maybe this can help you to do that. Because I see that the focus for you has been about how does this add up? What does this actually transform into? And what does my life start to look like moving forward with this knowledge now acquired? What is the actual path that I have to take on? And the answer is the burden which you wish to take on. And you should make sure that the burden you choose is challenging, but something that you can handle. It's a balance, because fulfillment comes from picking up the greatest burden you can carry and carrying it. And when you do that, you get fulfillment from your work because you help others. And it's not always fun. A lot of times it's tiring. A lot of times there isn't reward. But because you're putting in all of the effort you can to make the world a better place, that's what truly makes you feel fulfilled. Now, the card that is associated with that would be the 10 of Wands. Is that sounding like it resonates with you?
Oh, absolutely. I want to be a psychologist.
You want to be a psychologist. That makes a lot of sense. And so taking on other people's burdens is a challenge that is deep in that field, but you can really help people get through some tough times. Does that sound?
Absolutely.
Is that something that is going to be the kind of challenge that you're ready to take on?
Yes.
Wonderful. So then we know that we can actually let that future sink in, and let's take a look. And we see that it is in fact the 10 of Wands. And so,
how do you do that?
I don't know. I wish I did. Make my life a lot easier if I knew what I was doing. And so the 10 of Wands tells us that this is the future that you'd like to have, and it's the one that's on your path. And so what you need to do is not worry about where we're going, but what we need to do today. And what do we need to do this week? And taking it a day or a week at a time is going to take little baby steps that get you to the place where you're going. Now, keep in mind, the place where you're going, does he look really happy? No, he's tired. He's exhausted from carrying those sticks. This is not an easy path you've chosen, but it is a deeply fulfilling path that you're choosing. And it's something that can really bring meaning and purpose. And that doesn't mean you'll never be happy, of course. It just means that the path you're choosing that will also produce happiness is going to be one that requires a lot of work. And so when it is challenging, just know this isn't challenging just for you. This is challenging for everyone. You've chosen to help the world. And there are systems in play that do not want you to do that. So be prepared. And that is the reading I have for you today, Rayla. I hope that that inspires you. Illusion Owl, the one, the only. Welcome to the vlog. I hope you enjoyed your reading here today. Let us know how that goes through for you and how that resonates. Do you have any other comments, questions, or concerns before we move on to our next? Well, let's see. Are we doing our next reading? We will be doing a reading in 15 minutes and then going into the show.
What synchronicity should I be looking for the owlification?
So definitely the signs of the owls. With the owlification, a big shift that I would recommend doing is how can I start to enchant other people's lives? Because as an owl, our goal is to make the world a little bit more magical. And the way that we do that is by inspiring mystery. And so, this could be something as simple as telling fun stories, folklore, and telling people about those things. Inviting people for readings, of course, is another fun way to get people to play with their imaginations. But in the world that we're in today, we're very much about trying to pretend like we have all the answers and that science has figured everything out. But they haven't. They don't know pretty much anything. They're very unreliable sources. And so the reason that they hammer that so hard is the same reason they did during the Soviet Union, is it demoralizes people. The thing that humans need is connection and friendship. We need that. We need food and water and shelter, of course, but we also need mystery. That's a core desire of humanity. And in many cases, it's the thing that can keep people going. You know, people who are even depressed and sad, the thing that can inspire them is the thought of, well, what could happen next? And that is something that can drive a person forward. What's going to happen? And so by being a bearer of mystery, you can share that with the world. So that is looking for the opportunities to help people make their life a little bit more mysterious, a little bit more fun, a little more whimsical. And by doing that, we help re-enchant the world. Oh, and of course, our last thing before I let you go, we got to get you a message from the wizard. Let us get you a spirit message here, shall we?
Ooh.
I forgot. Almost forgot. Oh, or I could drop it. Fire tool. Here is your imaginary message, Rayla. Of course, because it's... Sorry, this is in the way. A little hard. I have to go like this for this one. This is our imaginary message for you. It is imaginary because that is how I deal with the powers. And this is our sacred bowl from my grandmother, which allows us to use the power of ritual. And finally, the last piece we need to activate the imagination is theatrics. In this case, the element of fire. Let us see what your message is today.
Sorry.
What was that?
I said burn, baby, burn, and then I'm like, sorry.
Your message from the wizard is voyage into boundless horizons. Ooh, that is a good one right there, Rayla. Voyage into boundless horizons. All right. Thank you so much, Illusion Owl, for joining us here. I hope you enjoyed your owlification, your spirit messages, and your reading. Thank you so much for joining us here and being the first ever owlification in the new studio in Vegas. And hopefully here's to many, many more. Thank you for joining.